Okay. Very quickly, question one, lighting and shadow. I don't think anybody took this question, but you can tell that there are a lot of shadows in this movie. It's mostly set at night. And often the shadows are used to hide Blanche's face, hide Blanche's body, or sometimes hide the rest of Blanche or the surroundings around Blanche while she puts herself in the light. It's a kind of way to show how Blanche manipulates her environment as part of her interactions with other people. And it also kind of points to her subconscious or like her internal mindset, how she feels about herself, whether she's hiding things like that. Question two, group one agrees, mainly because at the end, Stanley rapes Blanche. And yeah, I think we all agree that civilized people don't rape each other. At the same time, we should pay attention to how that scene developed. At the beginning and throughout most of the movie, Stanley wants to have nothing to do with Blanche. So why at the end does he rape her? Well, this is after Blanche has confessed to the truth about her past. And this is also when Blanche finally becomes afraid of Stanley and picks up a weapon. So there are two ways to look at this. One, maybe Stanley never liked Blanche and he's raping her as a kind of control, not because he likes her, but because he needs to have power over her. Another way of thinking about this is maybe Stanley has always been attracted to Blanche, kind of like how he was attracted to Stella when he first met her. But he was never able or willing to consider sleeping with Blanche until Blanche picked up a weapon and Stanley said, "What, are you afraid I'm going to rape you?" And that created a situation where his unconscious desires suddenly become possible. So it's up to you. Depends on how you make sense of that scene. Question three, their relationship might be based on their differences. Differences attract. And their, I guess, violence and directness toward each other might just be the dark side of their direct passion for each other. Question four, why does she change her mind? Well, there are a number of possible reasons. Maybe each of these reasons is not enough. Maybe we have to take them together. So for example, when Stanley walks away from Blanche and says, "I didn't do anything to her," which is a lie. Maybe when Stella sees Blanche volunteering to leave with the doctor and notices how poor and pitiful Blanche is with nowhere else to go. We're going to get back to that. Maybe when Stella finally sees Blanche leaving in the car and realizes that she has lost her sister forever. And maybe when she hears her own baby cry out and she thinks about the kind of future that her baby might have. Maybe these 4 points put together change her mind, make her want to leave Stanley. Question five, Blanche is the kind of person who can't deal with reality, maybe because she has been through so much in her life, used to be upper class and rich, lost everything, used to teach English. So, and English here means literature. So maybe she was the kind of person who was more easily believing in things like romance and storytelling and imagination. And after losing everything, including her husband who killed himself, she was very traumatized, tried to find comfort in strange men, got entangled with a student, got kicked out of her school, and finally had nowhere else to go. So why does she leave with her doctor? Maybe if she is not crazy, then maybe she left because she realized she had nowhere else to go and that leaving would actually help her sister and Stanley. If she was crazy, maybe because she's suddenly imagining that the doctor was the rich man that she had been waiting for. And finally, does the film have a class bias? Group 6 said no. We see good and bad sides of both upper class and working class. The film does not seem to lean toward one or the other. Next week is a horror film. See you next week.